And yes, you are back in the loop with Godfrey Chisolm and Dana Reynolds. And today we're going to be talking about Mike Tyson's appearance on CP24. And of course, the shirt that's floating around right now, Snuggle with a Struggle. Keep it locked, yeah. Dana, what's going on, girl? We are back live on the MICs. What are you saying over there?
What's going on with you, Godfrey?
I'm just here, man. I see you got your social media going. What are you doing? Taking selfies?
I'm not that kind of girl, okay? I'm not that kind of girl.
You are my type of girl. I don't do selfies. You don't do selfies.
Exactly. You know, you gotta keep some things to yourself, right?
That's what
Does
I'm
everybody
talking
want to
about.
see pictures of me every day?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. You know what? You got to pay to see this.
Right? Tell me about it.
Pay to see
Exactly.
this. Talking about pay to see, Tyson's episode on CP24.
A must see. A must see.
I must see. I wish I knew it was going to be done like that. I would have set up my PVR, record that, and make a movie out of it, man. You saw what went down, right?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are we really shocked about that kind of behavior from Mike Tyson, though?
You know what? I'm not shocked, but I love it that someone stood up to them like that on live TV.
See, this is where we differ on this, right? Mm-hmm. Because I felt that his answer was inappropriate, but you felt instead that it was actually the fault of the interviewer for even asking him the question.
Exactly, because why was he there to promote his book? Nothing to do with his past. It wasn't a life story interview. It was strictly for a promotional purpose of his one-man show that he was appearing in Toronto for.
But I thought the one-man show was about his life.
Right, but that situation, the question that was brought up about the rape had nothing to do with it. If it was phrased that way, are you going to touch on specifics about your rape case? Then I think Tyson would have handled it a little bit more intelligently. But when he said, you know, you went to see the mayor, he's in a race for mayor right now. The fact that you're a convicted rapist, don't you think that will hurt his mayoral campaign? That's ludicrous. I'm sorry.
Maybe I'm just not as forgiving as you are. Let me put it out this way,
but what's there to
okay?
forgive? What's there to forgive?
Let me put it out this way. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that there are certain things that people do, celebrity, not celebrity, what have you, that you just cannot walk away from?
Yeah, there are some things you can't walk away from. You are right. But there's also a time and a place for everything, and that was not the time for that.
What exactly is the time and the place to discuss your rape conviction?
Okay, let's just say this. Had Nathan Downer had the exposure to interviewing many celebrities in his career span, had he had the time to speak with Mike Tyson years before, this wouldn't have been a question now. It's a question now because he was starstruck, the fact that it was Tyson. And you know what? We never got to ask him this, so let's ask him. But that was 20 years ago. He's here to promote his one-man show. That's what the agreement was for. They would have had to agree to the question prior to. He blindsided Mike Tyson with a jab. Okay? And Iron Mike ironed him back. That's essentially what went down.
He hit him with a cross.
And the intelligence should have told him that Mike Tyson already ended the interview. Don't speak to Mike anymore.
You're saying by his body language and the way he responded to the question, and which we're not going to repeat exactly what he said to that question.
Exactly. But the publicist jumped in and started communicating with him.
Yeah.
He wanted to talk to Mike.
We saw that.
He wanted to
talk
to Mike.
So do you think the reporter's just going in a little bit too heavy-handed, trying to be a little bit too like Edward R. Murrow here, kind of heavy reporter, trying to get some kind of exclusive?
That's exactly what it is.
Reaction.
You know, in this business, it's always ask the tough question.
Right? Is that what he felt trapped to right there?
That's exactly what happened. Someone was whispering in his ears to ask that question, and he wasn't smart enough to say, nope, I'm not asking that question.
But that goes back to my point again, okay? Rapists, murderers, do you ever get to escape those questions ever?
Yeah, you should.
I mean, if Phil Spector ever gets out of jail, do we not get to ask him about his murder conviction every time he's on the radio or on TV? You can't.
Okay.
You can't get away from that.
Okay, let's look at Tyson's life. How many things have Tyson accomplished since he's come out of jail? He had a daughter that passed away the other day. We could have talked about that.
There we
could
go.
have
It's the hard
talked about
topics
that.
again. The hard
Exactly.
topics again.
We could have talked about that, but instead we went back to something that he's rise above, and society has risen above with him. How many U.S. media have we seen him on that don't even address that anymore because he's paid his dues to society and he's moved beyond? I think Tyson has rehabilitated himself. Talk about the fact he bit the man's ears.
Okay, well, there's another one he's never going to get rid of.
Talk about that.
And I think Evander Holyfield, every time he looks in the mirror, is not going to be able to
And
get
you know
away
what?
from that one either.
I'm sure the two are friends right now. Professionally,
At least on Twitter.
I'm sure they're
At least on
friends.
Twitter, yeah.
Exactly.
He's following him, I'm sure.
Well, speaking of even Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
right? How about our boy?
The sweatshirt?
Yes.
The sweatshirt.
Yes, the sweatshirt. Yes, I forgot what it was going to be, but yes, what is it? It's not. It's smug. It's what?
It's not rape. It's a snuggle with a struggle. I'll give you a background on this, okay?
Oh, Lord,
What
any
Godfrey's
day
talking about
someone
here
touch me,
is
let
he's
me-
talking about a sweatshirt that was at an American department store in the boys section
Mm-hmm.
that read, "It's not rape, it's a snuggle with a struggle."
until
with
your
the-
daughter experiences smuggle with a struggle,
Exactly.
or your
right?
wife, or better yet, your wife
Right?
experiences smuggle with a struggle. Then let's see if you will wear that T-shirt after.
Okay. We could listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. This actually ties into our Mike Tyson discussion really, really well. Okay?
Go ahead.
Because do we have a little bit? We're selling T-shirts in the boys department that are, objectifying rape victims here. Like, do we have a little bit of a rape culture? Or can we make jokes about this now? We're talking about Mike Tyson and the things that he, by the way, convicted once, but accused more than one time, almost a handful of times accused. Plus, don't forget all the times he's also been accused of beating his wives or girlfriends. Okay? But somehow we've moved past that. He's moved past that. The media has moved past that. We're willing to forgive him. Is it just not that big of a deal?
I mean, rape is always a big deal, don't get me wrong, especially when you put in it's not rape, it's smuggle with a struggle, because I'm thinking I got 2 daughters and a wife and I got some sisters.
Exactly.
And if someone uses that as an excuse, I got a broomstick.
You got your rod and your staff,
I
remember?
got a broomstick that will show him it's not rape, it's cuddle. With a bit of
Right.
bubble.
You'll give him some cuddles.
Oh yeah,
You'll
that's
show
what
him
it's
some
all
cuddles.
about. That's what it's all about. Like, there's just some things that's going too far, and that's definitely one of them. I got my broomstick to give you smuggle with a struggle.